And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You can text us at the number at the bottom of the screen or send me an email. Get involved in the conversation. 9 o'clock will be our state and national news and opinion with George McClellan and myself. And then at 10 o'clock, the Scott Farrell Show is America's behavioral expert. That's at 10 o'clock on FYNTV.com. We still want you to go to FetcherNews.com and check out all the great articles and everything going on in the 10 counties that we're currently covering and growing our information to you, the citizens. But we also want you to let people know all you got to do is go FYNTV.com and you're there. You're watching the show. Now, we're going to take the next 30 minutes and we're going to read this article. This article is by Dub Joyner. He's with the News Observer. And we're going to read this article, kindly break it down for you. And it's called Ethics Complaint Names Candidates in Sheriff's Race. And that would be the sheriff's race of Fannin County in the primary, the Republican primary. Now, I will answer a couple of the questions I think you may have out there on why the sheriff's race as we read this. So Mr. Joyner writes, a campaign contribution disclosure complaint has been filed against 3 candidates who ran for Fannin County Sheriff in the July 26 Republican general primary election. The complaint was filed by internet publisher Brian Pritchard at FetcherNews.com. That would be me. I did file the complaint. All of this is accurate at this time. Okay, alleges that the 3 candidates, Larry Bennett, Jack Taylor, Johnny Searcy, filed a false election campaign contribution report. Yes, I did. I filed a complaint on 3 of them that they filed a false, inaccurate campaign report. That is true. The complaint also alleges that Fannin Focus publisher Mark Tomlinson may have attempted to manipulate an election. That is true. I wrote on all the complaints that the Fannin Focus publisher Mark Tomlinson may have participated in the efforts of manipulating an election. That is all true, okay? Now, let me just say this. Mr. Tomlinson is supposed to be a publisher, a business owner, a professional, okay? Supposed to be. So, I wrote this, he wrote, may have manipulated. When he failed to report the advertising he gave the 3 candidates prior to the election. The Fannin Focus, I did all of the advertising. I got every bit of it, okay? Put a team together, got all of the papers from day 1 of the qualifying, went through all the ads, made all the copies of the ads, got the Fannin Focus rate sheet, put all that together, figured out what it would be if it was paid for, looked at their campaign finance reports, poof, they weren't there. So, yes, that's what happened. He failed to, is free advertising in the area of almost $14,000. I'll explain that. Tomlinson responded, so Mr. Joyner obviously, Dub Joyner obviously contacted the publisher of Fannin Focus, Mr. Tomlinson, to get a comment on, this story. Tomlinson responded by calling Pritchard an idiot. That's Mr. Idiot to you, okay? Mr. Idiot. Lonnie, you got that? Now, I want to hear you say you understand. That's Mr. Idiot to you. Mr. Idiot. I'm an idiot, okay? That's your answer. That is your business owner, professional answer on this here. That's your answer. I'm an idiot. Fine. Well, let the idiot continue to read the story for you. Tomlinson responded by calling Pritchard an idiot. He said if the candidates will file an amended campaign contribution form, everything will be all right. Just file a new form. They forgot $14,000. Everything will be all right. All they have to do is file some new paperwork and it's over. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see. All they got to do is file the new forms. So I file a complaint. He admits they got to file new forms and everything will be okay. So would you translate that into, I caught them? Is that what you would translate that into? I think that's what you would translate. Oh, they got to do. So that's what Tomlinson did. Tomlinson responded by I keep getting stuck, and he responded by calling me an idiot. Next paragraph. According to information compiled by Pritchard, from copies of the Fannin Focus, each of the candidates ran campaign ads for which records do not match what the reports on the contribution form candidates are required to file. They don't match up. Copies of the Fannin Focus publication show Searcy, who is a Blue Ridge police chief, ran ads for which he should have paid $4,946.89, according to Pritchard. That's right. His campaign contribution report showed no ad expense credited to the Fannin Focus, nor were any donations credited to the Focus. When you do a campaign finance report, you have to do one or two things. You have to show where you spent all your money, or B, the person has to show they gave it to you. There has to be a value. So when he says here, Mr. Joyner says in his article, but there's no ad expense credited to the Focus, nor was any donations credited. That's called in kind. It doesn't even show up. Fannin Focus doesn't even show up on Johnny Searcy's campaign finance report, okay? Searcy said, because he made a comment to Joyner, this is what Johnny Searcy said. Searcy said he made a mistake on the campaign contribution reporting form and that he is filing a revised one. He made a mistake. This is the first time Johnny's run for office. No, what, a dozen times, Johnny? Huh? I guess I'm just the first one that's ever looked at your reports. Johnny, you know better. You just forgot. I just forgot. Why, those big old ads I was doing, I just forgot. Just forgot. You remembered the News Observer you spent money on. You remembered the radio station you spent money on. But hell, that Fannin Focus, I just forgot that. Huh? Searcy said he made a mistake. So, Johnny, you made a mistake. So did Hillary Clinton. Hell, it's a mistake. Hillary made a mistake. Johnny made a mistake. Just say it. I have canceled checks. This is his quote. I have canceled checks showing I paid for the advertising I ran in the Focus, and those payments will show on the revised form. Searcy said, I have done nothing wrong. You have canceled checks where you paid the Focus, but you zeroed out, Johnny. You see, when you did this, you accidentally left off close to $5,000 worth of advertising. Close to $5,000, okay? And you zeroed out, Johnny. For those of you out there that don't understand exactly what I'm meaning, is you have to show what your campaign finance bank account looks like at the end, and Johnny says zero. So in order for Johnny to find these canceled checks and send these canceled checks in and revise his form, he has to find more money. That's right. So on this side of the ledger sheet, Johnny, where are you going to find that money? Where are you going to find that? You're going to loan it to yourself? What are you going to do? Because you've never done a financial campaign report before, Johnny. You just forgot. I got the canceled checks. I've done nothing wrong. Pritchard says his figures show that Bennett ran, this is Larry Bennett, 144.75 inches of advertising prior to the election. Using the Focus rate card, because we had their rate card, using the Focus rate card, that amount of political advertising should have cost him $1,142. However, his campaign finance contribution disclosure showed no advertising expense attributed or no donations by the Fannin Focus. Oh, well, there's a second one that just forgot. Forgot to put it down. Forgot. I mean, I got to do my campaign finance report here. This is serious. Maybe I can get some counsel. Maybe you got counsel from Johnny. I don't know. Just saying. Okay. Now, here is Larry Bennett's comment. Everything was legitimate. Holy mackerel. Everything was legitimate as far as he knows. As far as I know, everything was legitimate. Bennett said, Mark did put the last 2 or 3 ads that I did not ask for. Mark put the last 2 or 3 ads in that I did not ask for, okay? And I didn't pay him for them. So Mark gave a candidate free advertising. It doesn't show up in kind. He says he didn't ask for them. It's a value, folks. You can't go just do whatever you want. It's a value. You can't give value to a campaign without reporting it. So Mark's giving away free ads on this one. Everything Bennett thought was legit. He don't know. But he gave the last 2 or 3. What about the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? So you're saying he gave 6, 7, 8. What about 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, Mr. Bennett, that you did not even report that you paid for? What about that story? Where is the reporting on that? Because your campaign finance report says Fannin Focus 0. So that's Larry Bennett, okay? All right, Taylor, that's Jack Taylor. Jack Taylor ran 1,062 column inches, 0.75 of campaign ads, which should have cost him $7,970.63, according to Pritchard's complaint. That's exactly, I put it down there. In his campaign disclosure, Jack reported expenses for $600 of campaign ads to the Fannin Focus. That was a heck of a discount. I mean, that was a really good discount. That was one heck of a discount. What is that, 90% off? 90%, can't beat that, man. But no donations were reported for the publication. Again, no in kind. No in kind, all right? According to the information provided by the Georgia Ethics Commission, okay? These are letters, folks. According to the information provided by the Georgia Ethics Commission, the complaint will be considered by the commission staff. If it is found to be sufficient legal grounds, a case will be opened and an investigation begun. According to the complaint, each of these named in the complaint have received certified letters notifying them that the complaint has been filed. They've received the letters. So Mark, just let me know, that would be Mr. Idiot. And let's let you know, all they don't have to do is just refile the campaign finance forms. They don't have to just refile that and everything will be okay. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Johnny, if you have the canceled checks, you've ran for office several times, you know better, Johnny. You know better, and you know not to forget that. And I'm interested to see where you find the canceled checks. I'm interested to see where you find the money on this side of the balance sheet to show you paid for it because you zeroed out. Jack just says, you know, I'm just not even going to answer you. But Larry, I'm going to tell you what, I'm interested in that because you thought everything was legitimate. That's a big word. You thought everything was legitimate. Interesting. Because some of the people that you've been running around with and you've been hanging out with, you thought everything was legitimate. And you say the last 3 ads, Larry, that you thought Mark ran for free and you didn't even ask him to put in? Okay, that's fine. But there's value, Larry. So you got to handle that. You understand? That's what you say. Now, the other thing about this, Larry, let's just say there was 10 ads. Let's call it 10. And you say the last 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Larry. 7 of the ads you don't even show a report on. So folks, no matter what they write back, let's see where this ends up. Now, why? Why did I do a complaint on that race? Why? Okay, Dane Kirby's the sheriff. Dane Kirby's the sheriff. I know the sheriff. We FetcherNews.com, every county we cover, we try to build a relationship with the sheriff's office so we can get information to the citizens. That's just fact, okay? But why did I do a report and a complaint just on that race? Because folks, here at FetcherNews.com, we believe that the media should never be involved in any attempt to manipulate an election. Never, okay? And there are other candidates. There's Rusty Wittenbacher. There is Brian Jones. There are several people that has asked me, why not do their campaign finance? Why not do Stan Helton's campaign finance? I may look at those. I have reviewed them, but I may look deeper into those. But the reason this one race is because you, the citizens, always deserve for the media not to get involved and try to manipulate an election and try to handpick their candidate. We're seeing that on a daily basis on the big scale. We're seeing the national media do these kind of things on a big scale. We should not allow it. And by the 3 candidates that I named, knowingly doing business with this publisher, okay, nobody likes, I have named out and I have tagged hashtag Fannin Cartel. But see, they were trying to manipulate, is my opinion, and I'm allegedly saying they tried to manipulate an election and manipulate an office. That's my belief. My belief is, in my opinion, it was a concerted effort on all counts. You can't allow it. I'll finish with this. FetcherNews.com, and I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of respected media sources out there that'll tell you this. Call them and ask them. Never, FetcherNews.com never gives in kind donation advertising to candidates. No, sir. You never show any sign of support to candidates when you have them on your local elections here. I know, well, you support Donald Trump. Okay, fine. All right. I will never be responsible for manipulating an election, and that's what I think was taking place, and that's why I filed that, and that's why it's on the sheriff's office. Now, they have moved on. The publisher has moved on to his next attempt, their next attempt. They just, whoever drives the car this week. I mean, it's serious. It's like, you know, the Fannin Focus is like a Hertz rent-a-car. It's whoever pays the rental this week and gets in the damn car gets to drive it. Well, Councilwoman Angie Arp is getting the keys this week to drive it. You can read an article where they're going after Ada Street LLC. But, you know, we're going to keep this video and we're going to play it every once in a while because we know the turmoil that's been caused at the Blue Ridge City Council, and we know what happened here at FetcherNews.com. And the interesting thing is we have the video. Lonnie, play that video of Miss Councilwoman Arp for me real quick before we get to our next break. Let me hear it.
Kate was the sunshine of our life. She...
2 seconds, Lonnie said. We have it up, but it wanted to have a commercial on it, right, Lon?
I hit the wrong button and it went to the...
You hit the wrong button?
Yeah, this time it was my fault.
This time it was Lonnie's fault. He admitted it on air.
It went to the next video.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It extended and went to the next. I understand. So you said 2 seconds. I mean, was you telling the truth this time? Or
two of my seconds.
2 of your seconds. We're going to play the video.
Okay, executive session.
Can I ask something? Sometimes
Want to make a motion?
I'm making a motion, we allow Ms. Arp to speak.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Okay, well, I really wasn't planning on speaking, but after Jack and Cindy spoke, I just wanted to say thank you for that. I want to say to the mayor and council, to everybody, and maybe I can do this without front. I'm sorry for the way I've acted, some mistakes I've done. It's not been right. I want to work together. I want to do what's best for the city. I've stepped back and looked at a lot of things, and I don't think I've handled things the right way, the professional way. It's not been my intent to be ugly. I don't know why things have happened the way they have, but they've just happened. I don't know, it's been almost like a power struggle, and who's gonna get the last say and all this, and that's just so ridiculous. And I've talked to people in the past month, from friends to just visitors, and we're all looking like we're not looking good, and we're all, you know, and it may be me, it may be, but to the public, we're all guilty. And I've talked to Don about this. I want to do my part to do better, to get love, and to do what's best for the city. but I do want to, y'all to consider accepting my apology for anything that I've not done the right way. That's all.
I'm so sorry, citizens of Blue Ridge. So sorry, I got about 12 songs. I apologize for what happened to the citizens. I'm so sorry. Last time I seen tears like that, it was Jimmy Swaggart. Hey, listen, you know what I say? Who's driving that car this week? It's the Fannin Focus Rent-A-Car service. Seems that Angie Arp is driving that. Councilwoman is driving that car this week. It is up for rent. That car's up for rent. Any propaganda you need, we can facilitate for you. And that'll be the 8th Street LLC next Tuesday. I don't know what the judge will do, but I've been in every one of those meetings, and it's just it's ridiculous what they've done. I'm your host, BKP. Lonnie, that's Mr. Idiot. Get it straight. Say it so the folks can hear it. I want to hear it.
I think this is a good time to make a Lion King reference. They call him Mr. Pig.
Hey! I'm your host, BKP, having too much fun here. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, George will be in here. We're going to be talking about some state and national issues when we return. I'm your host, BKP.